2020 has not been a great year for anybody, but in your case, with your career, a couple of big TV appearances. So was working with AEW so far as great as I think it would be?
Yeah, it really is. The atmosphere there in the back in the locker room is very welcoming, something that I've never experienced going to another TV wrestling show. And AEW, they say there are a lot of things, and I do give them credit for following through on just trying to be different and trying to change the culture of wrestling itself. So yeah, I give them a lot of credit for welcoming me in, and giving me the opportunity to even like put out a song. Like I did that on my own for the couple matches that I did with them. But like when I went and walked into the locker room, guys were like, "Hey, I saw your video. Great job." Where I'm like, awesome. Like that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I bet if that happened any other place, nobody would have said anything. So I really do appreciate it.
A funny thing that I picked up on during your second match is when you were in the ring with Shawn Spears. I think they first said, and these guys have never met before. And I was thinking about one of the Creative Pro shows that I went to that had Shawn Spears on the billing and all that. So I think Taz retracted it with something like, well, they haven't been in the ring before.
Yeah. When Shawn Spears came to Creative Pro, I remember I was the first guy to say, "Hi, how are you doing? Here's the locker room. Let's go bring your stuff upstairs." And then, when I saw him going into this match, he didn't remember me from that. So I was like, okay, great. So, we got nothing personal going on. It's just business as usual. Let's fight. And that's what we did.
And your AEW matches were both great. And of course, not your first time on television and all that, but focusing on you here. One of the things that I respect the hell out of is your musical background. And a lot of times wrestlers, when they talk about their music, they're just lip syncing. They're not really doing it. There's a bass guitar in the background. Have you been playing your whole life, or did you start as a teenager?
No. Okay. So the bass guitar is a real bass guitar. I don't know how to play it. I can, I can like noodle around on it. And sometimes I try and teach myself, but that's there for the set. I never have learned a traditional instrument. I would love to play piano. I would love to take singing lessons. There's not a lot of time for that, being a wrestler. So I just kind of taught myself over the years since I was in high school how to make rap music and how to make beats, how to edit. And when I went to college, I was in broadcasting. I used a lot of those skills, bringing it over into the music. And it's just kind of studying on my own and figuring out, okay, a verse is 16 bars. What's a bar? Okay, break that down. What goes into a bar? How many syllables can I fit in here? It's a lot of mental mathematics that I do to create rap music, but I taught myself. Like, there's no rap school. I never went to music school. And like, that's just what I do. And it took a while for me to bring that out into the wrestling world. A lot of people told me very early on, like, Max, you should do this in wrestling. And I was like, I don't know. I want to get by on my wrestling merits first. And I realized over time that no matter how good I was in the ring, and I've always been really good. Mm-hmm. I've always been really, really good in the ring. But sometimes you need that little hook to bring people in. And that's what I do with the music. And I love making music. I love putting out these songs. It's so, so fun to just tear somebody apart. And then I have to see them in the ring. And I know in their mind, they know how good that song was and how bad I just ripped them apart. And that's just going to make them want to wrestle harder. And that's what I want. I want a true competition. I want people to fight me in the ring. I want people to be upset with me. It gets them off their game. So bringing that rap into the wrestling thing, best decision I could have made. best decision is just putting it out there. I'm the guy who puts out a freestyle on social media every Friday. I'm the guy who makes diss tracks. I'm the guy that when I get a big match opportunity, I'm going to go out of my way to get that match a lot of hype behind it. And you know what? That's just kind of the deal with Platinum Max now.
Right. And to kind of backtrack, sorry, a DM from one of your cohorts right there. To backtrack on what I'm saying about the bass and all that, I'd heard your beats beyond all the freestyles. I didn't realize that was all computer keyboard bass. And that reminds me of when Lonely Planet was making their first album and people were asking about the craft, and Andy Samberg's going, well, you know, I don't really play any instruments. People kind of realized that the computer is the instrument. So when exactly did you start making beats?
I would say when I was in high school, when I was 16 or 17, when I didn't know what a DAW was. I didn't know what a step sequencer was. I didn't know how to download drum kits. What I had was Audacity, and I would download old records, classic soul records and stuff, and I would find the parts that I could loop that had no words on it, drums, a good instrumental, and I would just say, okay, loop that over and over. That's a beat. And then it kind of grew from there to where I found out what Fruity Loops was, which I still use to this day. I still use Audacity to this day.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a great program. You can't beat Audacity just for what it is. Can't beat it. And it just kind of grew from there, and figuring out what plugins to get and how to make it sound a lot better, how to put effects. Like it's been a really long learning process. There's a lot of YouTube videos I could thank for helping me learn how to use Fruity Loops. But, you know, it just comes down to sensibility and ability. My sensibility is hip hop mixed with a little bit of rock, and it kind of all mixes together. And I think that's why it's pretty universal, why everybody gravitates towards my songs, is because it is a lot of genres bringing themselves together. And then my ability, not everybody can make music. I was having this conversation a month ago maybe, and I was like, well, why doesn't everybody just make music? If everyone loves music, why don't you just make your own? But not everyone can do it. And because it's a brain thing, making music, brain to hand to whatever, I think everybody should be able to, but I guess it's not possible. It's much like wrestling. Not everybody can wrestle. Can't tell you how many people show up to wrestling school who I know on the first day can't hack it in wrestling.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I have a couple unique skills in my arsenal: wrestling, making music, who knows what else. And, you know, it's just me. I taught myself how to do it. So I give myself credit on that. No one could have taught me how to do these things.
Self pat on the back, Barry Horowitz style.
Yeah, there we go.
Exactly. So you were synonymous with Create a Pro, and all the time Create a Pro people, there's the hat, are making it TV. And we know that MJF has a tattoo of Create a Pro on his leg, so he's proud of his time there and all that. Have you done any of the theme songs for other people in Create a Pro?
I made Bobby Orlando's song. He has a great theme song now. I'm trying to think. I think I did mostly Shook Crew. I made one for MJF, which he likes, but he never is going to use for whatever reason. And I hate his music. Ever since he started using that song, I really do hate it. And that's why I made him one. He didn't even ask. I was just like, dude, here's a song. And he's like, this is great. I'll never use it. Okay. And I want to say that's it off the top of my head. Everyone knows that I offer my music ability to make entrance songs. But I've been doing them for guys here and there. I did one for Beyond Wrestling. I did one for Anthony Green's YouTube channel. I did one for this guy, Love Doug. love Doug. He wanted a cover of Love Gun by Kiss, and I somehow pulled that off. So I'm doing them for other people, but not so much Creative Pro yet. I think everyone's still in love with their punk thrash metal intros, or
Right.
maybe one day we can step it up for those guys.
There is definitely that bad new metal 2005 Ring of Honor kind of theme song, and you're right, people do have to improve on that end. Looking at your future, is the goal to be a wrestler and somebody who does beats, or if the wrestling absolutely takes off, does the music go aside?
That's a good question. My goal this year, before everything shut down, was to try and move into the music performance business. And even if it's just open mics or showcases, that was my main goal this year. Being in wrestling for, it's now over 6 years, you get burned out. And going into this year, I was very burned out. I was injured. I just got out of surgery. And that was my goal for this year. Now, having a lot of time off and time to think and heal and become a better person, I do think that I can do both right now. But right now, the wrestling is popping off a little bit. People are hitting me up with more requests or more opportunities for me to do things. And the music kind of goes hand in hand with that. So right now the music is living within the wrestling world, but I would love to do something on my own. I'm always writing songs that people will never hear. During the whole shutdown quarantine thing, when there was no wrestling and Creative Pro wasn't open, I had nowhere to go. I was just writing songs. And so now I'm in the process of finishing those songs, and hopefully I'll put them out, and hopefully people will like them and, relate to my emotions. But right now they're just going to have to relate to me dissing people because it's wrestling. And I'm cool with that. I really do love the songs that we make as Shook Crew, the Platinum Max songs. And, I honestly feel there's no better rapper athlete than me right now. So I feel like I could do it all.
I can't think of anyone better. So 3 quick questions, and then you're a free man. The first one is, the Platinum 78. You're clearly not born in 1978. Is that an homage to the 78 style vinyl record?
No. 78 is the atomic number of platinum. And so it's a science thing, which I'll tell you a funny story about that is before WrestleMania got canceled, we were at Creative Pro and we had to do a video shoot with Kurt Hawkins, and they had Neil Degrasse-Tyson come in. And this was going to be about the Battle Royal and how the physics of a Battle Royal work. And it was a really cool thing that I don't think anybody will ever see, and I really wish people would see it because it's very, very cool. But I have platinum on my tights, the periodic symbol for platinum with the 78, the abbreviation. And the first thing he sees when he sees my tights, he goes, "Platinum!" And I was just like, all right, I won Neil Degrasse-Tyson over with my science reference, so that's perfect.
Wow, you hear it first. Okay, second thing. I don't know if this is pulling the curtain back too much. Rockville Center, New York. Are we allowed to say that you're from Rockville Center?
Sure.
Okay. Rockville Center gave the world Howard Stern, Amy Schumer, Dave Attell. I think the Bill Apter wrestling magazines were published out of Rockville Center. Is that correct?
I don't know. That's the first I'm hearing, but that would be cool.
I believe they were. Proud of Rockville Center, or are you like a lot of the people who grow up on Long Island where they just can't wait to get out of Long Island?
No, I like it here. I'm not in the scene of Rockville Center. The scene is a bar scene. There are tons of bars. They're right by the train station. People from east and west like to take the train in, hop off, go to all the bars, and then go back on and cause problems on the train. I've had to deal with that a lot in my life. But I've never been in the bar scene. I just, the town is the town. It's where I grew up and it's where I still live. Usually, I didn't know they would announce me from Rockville Center on AEW.
Yeah.
I'm usually from Music City, but yeah, Rockville Center is great. I rep the town. I tag it in my Instagram posts and stuff, so it's cool.
Hey, you're proud of it? I mean, it was also part of Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I think it was supposed to take place there. So as long as it's a cooler town like that. I mean, here in Long Beach, we get Joan Jett and Billy Crystal, but
you guys have MF Doom. MF Doom, one of the best rappers ever, is from Long Beach.
MF Doom is from Long Beach, New York?
Yeah.
I need to do some homework. I know Lil Peep was from here.
Lil Peep, another great rapper.
MF Doom. I thought MF Doom was from Minnesota or something like that. Okay.
No. Daniel Dumile. Look it up.
Okay. Wow. Homework. Well, finally, closing, Max. Any last words for the kids?
Kids. No. Look. We have Shook Crew on Pro Wrestling Tees, prowrestlingtees.com/Shook Crew. If you want a t-shirt, we just put up Platinum Max t-shirts. They're available in 2 colors, so if you want black or pink, it's all the Platinum Max colors you could want. I follow me on social media. I'm at Caster Show on Twitter and Instagram. I also want to say that social media was a mistake, and I just want to make that clear. But you can follow me if you'd like. Otherwise, we're just going to be doing a lot of music and hopefully a lot of projects as the Shook Crew. And when wrestling comes back, expect me to be right at the top of that list, because I see right now at the top of the independent wrestling scene, there's a cool little bubble that people want to break in. And all I want to do is burst that bubble. Burst it. I don't even want to be in it. I want to ruin it for everyone else. So I want the top spot. I've told everyone I'm working harder than ever, and I'm rapping harder than ever. I'm going to be in more places than ever, and I am coming for that top spot. That's a guarantee.
Couldn't have said it any better. Man, thank you for your time. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'll stay. Thanks, Max.
Paltrocast.